What up guys, it's Sunday, so that means it's tournament day. But first, let's recap last week. So last week I was unable to attend locals due to having car issues. As such, we did a little video just showing off a little bit of my personal collection of cards that just mean something to me rather than, they're worth money or anything like that. Because at the end of the day, that's what a collection should be. They should be cards that you have memories and connections with. Because, yeah, fine, there's a lot of expensive cards in this game, and it's really nice to look at these quarter century rare, Flufferos or whatever, and it looks amazing. But at the end of the day, that's kind of just a monetary investment. So just showing off a nice little collection that means something to you, I think it's always better to look at, just because it gives you just a little bit more of an insight. But anyway, so it's tournament day. We're not going again. Main reason why is the exact same issue as last week, which is the car. The car went into the garage and it's scrap. To put it simply, it cannot be fixed. So fun. Yeah, so as such, we are currently without a car. We have a mechanic coming out to the original car sometime this week, I believe Thursday, to have a look. And yeah, but with all of that in mind, we have Isaac over. He was here yesterday. It was my partner's birthday yesterday, so you can see that vlog over on TikTok in like the daily vlog thing. Might put some clippets of it in this one as well. And we're going to have a chat with Isaac, just because Isaac is where I would personally say I was about a year ago. When I first got back into competitive Yu-Gi-Oh, I chased after so many different deck cores, I couldn't tell my head from my elbow. I was chasing this deck and that deck, and I'd have half completed cores which turned out to be absolutely useless, because by the time they actually got round to I could actually play them, the consistency cards had been hit, or the deck had been solved, or a new set came out which just made it obsolete, or just got power crap to fuck. So as such, I ended up with decks like Dragunity and Amazement and whatever, and they're fun decks, don't get me wrong, they're great decks to have a fun time with, but you're not going to win any matches at locals. Or if you do, you're sitting like at the low tables, if that makes sense. So they're not nothing you can compete with. So as such, I dedicated all of my time, money and energy on Chimera. And as you saw, I've actually done quite well with Chimera. I've been able to successfully get top 3 and top 4 at locals. I took it to regionals. I've been able to invest in things like the Fiendsmith engine to power it up, as well as the Azamina engine, because I focus purely on that one deck. And now that deck's kind of as far as it is, without future support coming out, I've been able to avert my attention to fun decks again, what I want to build. So for example, I picked up Orcus before the new support was announced. And now the new support's announced, they've all shot up in price. I did consider selling it, but honestly I'm going to keep it, because I'm just going to pick up the new support and play Orcus. I think that's actually going to be a really good competitive deck when that new support comes out. But this is where Isaac currently was until, I'd say, a couple of weeks ago. He was chasing all these different deck cores, like he's got Godpipe Punk, he's got his zombies, he's got Eldritch, he's got all of these really cool fun decks that when we sit and play at the table, it's great fun. But they're not going to get you many wins at locals, let alone higher tournaments. And after a conversation, Isaac has determined he does want to get better at the game, just like I do, and wants to potentially play in bigger formats and bigger events. So we've sat down, we've looked at his budget, what he's got to work with, and we have settled on Sword Soul. Now, it is not the most competitive deck, but it is a fantastic introductory deck to mid-level competitive play. And the reason why I say that is because everyone kind of knows what Sword Soul does now, but it can still do a lot, especially with Protoss off the ban list. So it's all depending on your particular build, like your tech choices and whatnot, to how much Sword Soul can do. So today he is over, he's using my son's deck, because as you know, my son plays Sword Soul. And we're going to have some tester games, we're going to just have a laugh, have a relax. He's ordered the majority of the cards. I think he just needs to order 5 more cards. He needs a playset of the Ecclesias and 2 of the new Tenny main deck monsters left. But once he's got that, he's got the deck core. And you know, for the next couple of months, this is the deck he's going to focus on, which is great. And this is what I've told him. He needs to focus on a deck, learn it, learn the other decks in the format, and see what it is we can do from there. So yeah, he's listened, he's taken it on board, which is great. We'll have a chat with Isaac in a few minutes, and yeah, and then like I said, we're going to have some great games, bit of messing around. I built Danger Orcus just as like a deck which realistically ain't going to do too much unless that ball rolls, and when that ball rolls you won't be able to slow it down. Just say it's not some big meta deck, it's not some massive control variant, you know, that's going to fuck him up every step of the way and like dishearten him. It's so he can learn his combos, and then the better he gets for that, the better decks I will pull out to play against him. So yeah, I've rambled for nearly 7 minutes, so what we're going to do is we'll jump across, have a chat with Isaac, get his thoughts, his feelings on the matters, and then we'll go from there. All right. So this is Isaac. As I said, you've most probably seen him on the channel before, or if you go to locals you would have seen him there maybe a year ago. Like I said, he's finally accepted he needs to slow his ass down, pick one deck, focus on it, and learn the actual game itself. And by that I don't mean the standard rules of the game, he knows that. It's learning the idiosyncrasies of timing, mistiming, how chains are built properly in reaction to the new cards in the format, and just seeing basically what he can actually put together rather than chasing all of these fun deck ideas like I used to. Is that a fair assessment to say?
Yeah, that's a fair assessment.
Yeah. So we've had a few tester games with Sword Soul. How are you finding it so far?
Really good, actually. Having a great time with it. It's surprisingly easy to pick up everything, like in terms of how it plays. I guess that's because it is just quite low to the ground.
Yep.
So it just makes I don't have to big brain every turn.
Yep. Like I said here, this is what I like to call a very good introductory deck to semi-competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! Kind of how Chimera was when back in kind of the Chimera branded days. There's some really cool, funny little combos you could do, but they are all low to the ground combos. But as such, as you've seen as well, the deck can be stopped if the hand traps are timed just right. And when that happens, you are left on a very minimalistic board. So this will also be a good deck for you to get out of that mindset of being stopped, I should just quit, kind of mindset that you have sometimes. So, but yeah, as a whole, what do you think is your best part of the deck, other than it being low to the ground? What are you enjoying most with it?
Just the way that pretty much all of every Sword Soul monster, main deck monster, will just float into a synchro.
Yeah.
Because if you get its effect off, it will make a token, and then that plus the token will get you into either a level 8 or a level 10.
Yeah.
And then all of the 10 stuff on top of that just makes it somewhat more resilient than necessarily you would expect.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's definitely, like I said, like the old school kind of Chimera branded days with the 1.5 card combos, and pretty much you're guaranteed to get that in every opening hand, along with a single extender, if not multiple. So definitely, like I said, very good introductory deck. But now we're going to go back to some test games and get some B-roll footage, and we might film a full game or two here or there as well. So with that in mind, Isaac has built his Sword Soul Tenny, and I've built Orcus Danger. Now, the more Isaac learns, the more upgrade I will do to this deck. But for now, we're starting with the original Orcus list of 2017, I believe, just to see how we go. So after several games, we were kind of at a standstill. We were winning as many games as each other, which does well for me with the Orcus combos, but it also shows that Isaac has a bit more to learn with the Sword Sword deck, which he will get in time. And trust me, this ain't going to be the only time we do some testing. There'll be plenty more to come, with plenty more gameplay and combos down the road. But for now, I hope you enjoyed this week, and I'll take you to the outro. And like that, another week of Yu-Gi-Oh! Is over. Did we go to locals? No. Have we been to locals in the last couple of weeks? Also no. Will I be going to locals this week? Coming. Unlikely. However, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Community isn't just about going to locals and taking part in tournaments. Yes, that is a big part of it, and yes, that is where you can show what you've learned. However, spending time with friends, having a laugh, playing a game that we all love, and just sharing those moments is truly what the games are about. Whether you win, whether you lose, whether it's at your kitchen table or at the top table of the YCS. We all love this game and we all play it for different reasons. But the majority of us play it because finding time to hang out with friends as grown adults gets increasingly harder as your responsibilities grow. So to find a hobby which you can share with friends and share that time together, and to have that excuse to spend time together, is truly an amazing thing. So I will be returning to locals as and when I can. But at the same point, I'm not going to beat myself up over not going for the last 2 to possibly 3 weeks coming on this week, because we have other stuff going on, and that takes precedence of our time, our money, our mental state as well, because we are under a lot of stress at the moment. And for me to go, like Ryan's offered to take me this coming Sunday, and that's lovely of him, and it would be great to get out the house and do something to occupy my mind. However, that means I'll be leaving my wife with a very temperamental toddler all day, and that's not fair on her mental health, to not be able to go out, not be able to even do something as easy as go do the shopping, because we currently don't have a car and we live in a small village. Obviously, you know, public transport exists, but when you're trying to juggle a weekly shop with a toddler, it becomes a lot more difficult. So I don't know if I'll be going this weekend, to be honest with you. If not, I'll still put a video out, because this is what I enjoy most, is spending the bit of time each week making these videos, acting stupid on the internet, and hopefully entertaining at least one person each week. But yeah, so with all that in mind, hopefully I'll be going Sunday, but I don't know. We've got a mechanic coming out tomorrow to look at the car, and hopefully it's not going to cost us an arm and a leg. But we'll see. But with all that in mind, like, the point of this ending today is spend time with friends, spend time with family, do the things that you love to do, because at the end of the day, that's what's important. And yeah, I definitely had a good time this week. I weren't even really testing a deck I was testing more for a deck Isaac's going to be playing, just to help him, you know, catch up. And to me, that's important. And I definitely had a good time doing that. So not a waste of time at all. And yeah, with that in mind though, tune in next week, where hopefully we'll have some form of video. I'm just not sure what that is. And of course, follow me over on TikTok for daily vlogs. You can find out more information about what's going on with the car and everything else over there. But with everything else being said, see you next week. Peace and love.